Yo, what's up, Diamond family? It's your man Vivi, and welcome back to the VVS Academy. As you guys know, I'm here every week dropping off gems, teaching you to record and mix your music better. So if that sounds good to you, stick around. Look, man, I got a really crazy video for you guys. I'm gonna be showing you guys my top 5 plugins from Slate Digital. That's right, man. You guys know I'm a Slate evangelist. I think they are the top plugin company in the game right now because you just get so much for your money, man. It's like 10 bucks a month and you just get everything you need, from tune to compression to sounds, literally everything for $10 a month. So I'm gonna show you guys the top 5. Look, if they only gave you these 5, it would still be worth it. All right, so let's dive right into it. I won't even over talk it, but look, man, if you're still struggling to get your vocals to sit inside the beat, really balance out your vocals and your beat perfectly every single time, check out my free course down below. It's going to teach you how to balance out your vocals and the beat and really change up your mixing game, man. It's completely free. It's about 15 minutes long, and it's really going to get you going. So check that out. All right, I won't over talk it. Let's go ahead and play back the track, and then we'll start to talk about my 5 favorite plugins.
If I slide out that way, the police gon' be on the way. Niggas knowin' where I be, out the berry with my bleeds. Ain't no blood or none of that, I just know for them I bleed. Talking wiping those, not snot, I'm talking leave them underneath. Putting wool.
Bet. All right, so the song sounds good, but that's not what we're here for. We're here talking about my favorite plugins from Slate. And the number one, you'll see it on pretty much every single channel, every single bus that I have is, of course, the virtual channel. All right, we'll lump in the virtual channel and the virtual mix bus together, but this is my number one favorite plugin from Slate because it just adds that dimension. It adds that analog flavor without having to spend all this money for an SSL board or anything like that. And it gives you these different flavors, right? So we can use both of these SSL sounds, which are the British, the 4K and the 4K G&E, the USA, which is like a tube. Actually, I don't know what the USA joint is. The Brit end I know is a Neve. This is a Trident. The RC tube in the USA, I just forget which one they are. But definitely, these are a lot of really good vibes. I use the Trident a lot if I want the vocal to cut out. I think it really helps the vocal to stand out in the mix a lot. But generally, I'm going with the Brit 4K. Sometimes the E. If you pay a lot of attention, the low end differences between the two of these is what really kind of determines which one I'll go through. So these 6 different tones can really shape your mix if you use them correctly and you run all of the elements of your mix through these channels. So virtual channel number 1. All right. Now, the number 2 favorite plugin from Slate, I gotta say, is a pretty recent one, and it's just the Infinity EQ. I think it does a really good job of visually showing you what you're EQing. I love that I can adjust the volume, input and output, or up or down on the way out super simply. I love that I can save presets. And here, let's just mess with this thing. Right here, I'm gonna go to the lead vocal. Let's grab an Infinity right here.
Not with the code, they tell the police the whole shit. If I slide out that way, the police gon' be on the way. Niggas knowin' where I be, out the berry with my bleeds. Ain't no blood or none of that, I just know for them I bleed. Talking wiping those, not snot, I'm talking leave them underneath.
Now the cool thing about this EQ is, as many bands as I want to make, I'm just free to do it, right? So I'm just adding all these bands. Don't really need them. I'm just adding them to show that, like, yo, however many bands I really want to add to this EQ, I can move stuff all around. Now, of course, this is going to sound terrible, but I'm just showing that, like, yo, you can really move a lot, and you can get very surgical. You can get very narrow with these EQs. So if you wanted to do something weird and like take out all these individual little peaks like this, you could. Just using this one EQ, it does a lot of great mid-side things. So if you want to use it on your mix bus, it does great for that. And I think it just has a really good, accurate visual representation of what's going on. So we're just throwing in these weird curves and
Not with the code, they tell the police the whole shit. If I slide out that way, the police gon' be on the way. Niggas knowin' where I be, out the berry with my bleeds. Ain't no blood or none of that, I just know for them I bleed.
And you can see we made some very drastic moves, but it still sounds very subtle. So Infinity EQ, definitely the number 2 plugin. So the number 3, we're gonna go down to the reverb bus, and it's the Verb Suite Classic. Man, this is such an underrated reverb plugin, but it's got so many great features. I'm going to show you right now. So I like to use a black box or some kind of saturation or distortion before my EQ, and I think it just helps the EQ to I keep saying EQ before my reverb. I think it really helps the reverb to cut through and have its own sound in addition to the lead vocal, and addition to the rest of the elements of the mix. So let's listen to this with the black box on, and we'll tweak the reverb a little.
Not with the code, they tell the police the whole shit. If I slide out that way, the police gon' be on the way. Niggas knowin' where I be, out the berry with my bleeds. Ain't no blood or none of that, I just know for them I bleed. Talking wiping those knots, now I'm talking leave them underneath. Puttin' Woodward on your shit, bitch, I sliced it off your sleeve. Niggas playin' link protect, I slide out with AB. Off them Zans, all disrespect, I'm hitting niggas, don't cop plea. These niggas playin' with my neck, I'm finna leave them in the streets. Fuck the trap and the bread, I'm trying to put this glick in check.
That's cool, right? So that's the sound I really like, but there's so many different devices. These are all different reverb modules that you can mess with, all different presets within the modules. It's really one of the best, most powerful, and super underrated reverbs on the market right now. All right, let's go to number 4. The number 4 plugin that you'll see me use all the time is right here, this Blue Edition This Blueface 1176. I try not to call it Blueface. I say it every single time, but I call it the Blueface 1176. This is irreplaceable for me. I think this compressor sounds really good. It adds that saturation and that little color, and it does what you want from the Blueface 1176. It really helps the vocal to cut through and stand out a little bit more. So this one I can't live without, but let's bypass it and see.
Not with the code, they tell the police the whole shit. If I slide out that way, the police gon' be on the way. Niggas knowin' where I be, out the berry with my bleeds. Ain't no blood in
the beautiful thing is it's almost like it's an EQ and a compressor in one. Listen to how the mid-range and the upper frequencies change when I engage this compressor.
Not with the code, they tell the police the whole shit. If I slide out that way, the police gon' be on the way. Niggas knowin' where I be, out the berry with my bleed.
Yeah, just, I don't know, it does something smooth to that upper mid-range that I really, really like. And that's why it's one of my absolute favorite compressors. And the number 1, of course, I can't finish off a mix without it, and it's gonna have to be the FGX mastering console. This is the one. A lot of times I'll just bypass the compressor. I won't even use the compressor at all, and I'll really only focus on using the limiter or the mastering console. So let's go ahead and dig into that for a second and see how we can get it working.
Not with the code, they tell the police the whole shit. If I slide out that way, the police gon' be on the way. Niggas knowin' where I be, out the berry with my bleeds. Ain't no blood or none of that, I just know for them I bleed. Talking wiping those knots, now I'm talking leave them underneath. Puttin' Woodward on your shit, bitch, I sliced it up. Not with the code, they tell the police the whole shit. If I slide out that way, the police gon' be on the way. Niggas knowin' where I be, out the berry with my bleeds. Ain't no blood or none of that, I just know for them I bleed. Talking wiping those knots, now I'm talking leave them underneath.
Yeah, I really love the sound of this mastering console. It's really just a limiter, but what it does is it adds a little bit of tone and character, but it keeps things super transparent, and it lets you dial in how much low end you want to keep, how much of the high end detail you want to keep, those kinds of things. Look, man, I'm telling you, Slate is the one that's killing the game right now, and if you haven't checked them out, go ahead and get the free trial. I think it's like 2 weeks or something for free, but if not, it's only $10 a month, man. Go and check it out. These are the tips I'm giving you guys week in and week out. If you need a little bit more help, drop me a line down below. My name is Vivi, and I'm here for you. Remember, stay humble, make diamonds only. Peace.
Not with the code, they tell the police the whole shit. If I slide out that way, the police gon' be on the way. Niggas knowin' where I be, out the berry with my bleeds. Ain't no blood or none of that, I just know for them I bleed. Talking wiping those knots, now I'm talking leave them underneath. Puttin' Woodward on your shit, bitch, I sliced it off your sleeve. Niggas playin' link protect, I slide out with AB.